Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Will the Prime Minister update the House on the successful launch of the government's National Innovation and Science Agenda? How important is this agenda for jobs and growth?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and I thank the honourable member for a question. Can I say, Mr Speaker, and I say to the honourable member, who in particular has in her electorate Deakin University, which is a university that is committed to driving innovation in advanced manufacturing, who has a community that understands that the transition from conventional manufacturing to more advanced and more sophisticated technology is absolutely critical to Australia's continued success. I mean, the unquestionable fact of life for us is that if we are to maintain our success as a high-wage, generous social welfare net first world economy, if we want our children and grandchildren to have high-quality jobs, well-paying jobs, then we have to be at the frontier of innovation. And what we need to do, in many respects, is to change the culture of business and of government. We need to move to a culture that does not assume the way you did things yesterday is any longer appropriate, that you've got to be prepared to look at new approaches all the time. Because the simple fact is that the pace of change has never been so rapid. That is the biggest characteristic of the global economy at the moment, the extraordinary rapid pace of change. It is driven by technology, it's driven by globalisation, and it means that every business, every government, every firm, large or small, has to be proactive, has to be innovative, has to be constantly looking at new things. Now, many people would say this is all about the digital economy, and this is all about brilliant young men and women coming up with new applications, and of course that is very important, and we've seen terrific progress in that regard. But it's also about older businesses. It's also about manufacturing businesses. It's about farming. It's about government. It is about, the honourable member says it's about education. It absolutely is. And that is why we are devoting millions of dollars to promote coding in schools so that our children have digital literacy, because that is going to be just as important as reading, writing and arithmetic was to most of us when we were at school. Mr Speaker, these changes also affect the rate of investment. We are starting to see, because of the leadership the government is showing, we're starting to see some of these big superannuation funds for the first time investing more into the start-up sector. That's where leadership matters. It's where the culture, the change of culture, business culture matters, and where we will see the prosperity for our children and grandchildren in the future.